Hey, what's happening, gamers? Welcome back to another Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Trilogy on KwingsLetsPlays.
Yeah!
Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. It's time for us to continue the trial once again. And special thanks to our friends over at Capcom for providing a copy of this game and sponsoring this series.
Yay!
It's crime fighting time!
That it is, K-Wing!
Alright, March 22nd, 9:47 a.m., District Court, Defendant Lobby number 3. Adrian did it? That's what it looks like. Dude, no way! That woman couldn't do anything like that. In court today, there will be a mountain of evidence that will implicate you. A mountain of evidence? I'm certain there's someone out there trying their hardest to pin this whole thing on you. Please, Mr. Lawyer. Dude, like I said yesterday, I'm refreshing like a spring breeze, alright? I can't let any sort of scandal ruin that. I understand.
Well, it's almost time.
Ooh. Okay.
I'm guessing.
Oh, okay. Mia.
Okay.
Mia!
We must get a complete acquittal today.
I know. But I can't focus on Maya's situation right now. Or Pearl's either. No matter what, I have to focus on winning this case by the end of the day.
Indeed, Phoenix. Well, let's get going.
Uh-oh.
Beep, beep, beep.
It's him!
Oh no! Beep.
This is Phoenix Wright, go ahead. Good morning. This is it, Mr. Attorney, the day of the trial. Maya, she's unharmed, right? Well, when I checked on her earlier this morning, she seemed a bit, how shall we say, tired. Don't worry, people don't die that easily. Besides, what you really should be concentrating on is winning today's trial. Grrr. For my sake as well as yours, you must win today's trial. Which is why I sent you a little present this morning.
Present?
A present? What in the world would you want to give me? You'll figure it out once the trial starts. And even if you don't like my gift, I expect you to graciously accept it and win the day's contest, if you please. Wait! Jerk. The kidnapper sent me a present.
That's weird.
Mr. Lawyer dude, who was that? Huh? Oh, no one of consequence. There's nothing to do with you, so forget you heard anything, Kay?
It actually does have something to do with it.
Dude, did your nose just get longer?
Whoa, he's got your number.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it's that card that was in that one Adrian's, purse. I don't know.
I don't know.
Alright, 10 a.m. The trial begins.
Court is now in session for the trial of Matt Ungard. What a fun name. Are the prosecution and defense ready? The defense is ready, Your Honor. Wait a second.
What?
I say, Mr. Wright, what happened to Miss Van Karma? What? I don't know, Your Honor. Why are you getting mad at me? Your Honor. Please be quiet, bailiff. Court is in session. I don't want my BLT right now. If you must tell me something, please keep it brief. Now then, what is it? Prosecutor Von Karma has... This morning, she was shot by an unknown gunman. Nani?
What?
Shot?
What? Oh my gosh. Somehow, I think this is the present that man was talking about.
Creep? His present?
Miss Von Karma is one of the top prosecutors in the country at the moment.
Sorry guys, cat alert.
If she were to disappear, it would be to your advantage.
Oh yeah, because we could take on Prosecutor Skeletor and win. This is totally insane! Miss Von Karma, is she alright?
Yeah, I know, she was totally shot.
I don't have the foggiest. How am I supposed to answer that? She's alive and in stable condition.
Huh?
Oh, that's good. Wait.
Wait, who said that?
You're... I thought he'd show up.
Huh?
Edgeworth!
Edgeworth!
Your Honor, due to the circumstances, Miss Francisca Von Karma cannot appear in court today. I, Miles Edgeworth, will be taking her place. This prosecution is ready. Naturally.
What?
This can't be good.
How is he just gonna do this at the last minute?
Never count an Edgeworth out. Miss Von Karma was shot in her right shoulder and is currently undergoing surgery. Luckily, I have looked this case over and I'm familiar with the details. The prosecution seeks to prove the guilt of Mr. Ungard. The court acknowledges the new prosecution. Welcome back.
Oh, you did have a chance to look it over.
Right. I finally found the answer I was struggling for my long journey last year. By the time this case comes to an end, you too will know the answer. Now then, the prosecution would like to call its first witness. Please bring Detective Gumshoe to the stand. Oh man. My voice is going again, guys. Witness, your name and occupation, please. My name is Gumshoe, sir. Detective. I'm a detective down at the precinct for now. But now, what's the matter? After this trial's over, I'm supposed to turn in my badge. Detective Gumshoe.
Who's making him turn his badge?
Probably Franziska. The prosecution has no need for a depressed witness. Lift your head up and face forward like a proud police officer, Detective Gumshoe.
Yay!
Yes, sir. Now then, let's have your testimony. If we want to explore the various facets of this case, we must start with that.
Get ready, Phoenix. This is going to be one very rough fight.
Oh boy. Yeah, I would have to be with Edgeworth as my opponent. The answer he is struggling for. Interesting. Show me this answer you finally found, Edgy. Bare facts of the case.
Oh, yeah.
This murder happened at the Hero of Heroes award ceremony. The victim, Juan Carrito, was found dead in his hotel. After looking into the cause of death, we believe he was definitely murdered. Yeah, that picture's not a dead giveaway.
Yeah.
At first, we thought he was, something suspicious with his empty guitar case. However, we later found that the guitar case had nothing to do with the murder. Okay. Now, rule of thumb, guys, always press Gumshoe on everything.
So we can get more information, right, Luke?
That's right. After the award ceremony ended, the victim was alone in his room. Yep, that's right. Both the victim and the defendant were both alone in their rooms.
Well, how could the defendant have done it then?
I see, Mr. Wright. You may begin your cross-examination. This should be interesting. Bare facts of the case.
All right, let's press him on everything, Luke.
That's the plan. This murder happened after the Hero of Hero Awards. Hold it.
Hold it!
Would you please give us a brief timeline of what happened after the ceremony?
Yeah.
Okay, pal. The ceremony started at 6.
Okay.
It ended around 8. And then there was a short break with cookies and milk. Special post-ceremony show was supposed to start at the lobby and 30 minutes later, but... Yeah, that's when the victim's body was found, right? Which is to say, the murder occurred during the 30-minute break period. Please continue with your testimony, detective.
Or did it?
Doing 4 characters round-robin style.
Yep,
The victim, Juan Carrito, was found dead in his hotel room.
I thought you said this was gonna be an all-me show.
Yeah, I guess. Well, who knew she was gonna get shot?
I didn't.
So the person who discovered the victim's body was Adrian Andrews? Yep. Who is this Adrian Andrews you're talking about? I'm curious. She's the defendant, Matt's manager. She's a real pretty lady, sir. Ah, she's a pretty lady. I wonder if she will grace us with her presence. I don't think the missus will mind if I take a peek.
Oh, she would mind!
Awkward. When the post-ceremony show was about to start, she went to see Matt. After visiting his room, she went on to the victim's room to get him ready for the show, too. I see, and that's when she found the victim's body.
Yep.
After looking into the cause of death, we believe she was definitely murdered, sir. Hang on.
Hold it!
The cause of death, wasn't that because he was stabbed in the chest? Huh, only a careless amateur would believe something so brainless as that, pal. But you can see it right there. Take a good look at this crime photo. Now, a real pro's attention would be drawn here to this bandana. Banana.
No.
No, sir, it's a bandana. That thing that's wrapped around your... Never mind. Yes, I see. His banana-scented bandana.
Huh?
Your Honor, stop talking. And what about the knife? It seems to have been stuck in the victim's chest on purpose after his death. We have a crafty murderer on our hands here.
Yeah.
Oof. Okay, autopsy
report
added to the
court record. Yeah.
After we thought there was something suspicious about the empty guitar case.
Hold it!
I know, Amber. And why did you think that, Detective? Because it was empty, pal.
I just like saying hold it.
The Jammin' Ninja doesn't go anywhere without his bright red guitar. And we couldn't find it anywhere at the scene of the crime. Oh, then how about this theory? A fan really wanted the guitar and did the crime to get it. How's that? We thought of that too, but the only fingerprints on the guitar case were the victims.
Oh.
Only the victims, huh? Interesting. I see. So much for my theory then. I'm sad. Guitar case updated in the court record. However, we later found out the guitar case had nothing to do with the murder. Last one. Hold it!
Yeah.
What convinced you it had nothing to do with the case, Detective? The guitar case wasn't at the Gatewater Hotel that night. Well then, where was it? The bright red guitar was eventually found at the TV studio. The victim, Juan Carita, had apparently taken the case with him, sir. So, you mean he forgot to put his signature thing inside of the case? Yep, that's right. Even when he was on stage with the ceremony, he didn't rock his guitar.
Why?
So that guitar case was empty even before he got to the hotel? Fascinating.
Weird.
Yeah, that's right. So it really has nothing to do with the case after all.
Why wouldn't he have his guitar with him?
I believe that is enough.
What?
First, the victim was choked to death with his bandana.
Banana?
It was a banana! Then, after the victim was dead, the killer deliberately stabbed him with a knife. Seems a bit overkill.
Yeah.
Which brings me to my next point. Why then did the police arrest Matt on guard? Because there was a reason enough to suspect him. Here it comes. Looks like Edgeworth's back in full swing.
Yep.
Very well, Detective Gumshoe. Please testify about this matter. Okay. My gosh. Why arrest on guard?
I hardly had to talk at all.
Matt and Juan Carita were huge rivals with each other. They didn't like each other. They each thought the other guy was in his way, and that's motive enough in my book. As for evidence, there was the Jammin' Ninja's button. It was ripped off the ninja costume and found in Matt's, hakama. I don't know. The defendant's fingerprints were also all over the knife. The defendant brought the knife for the crime, which makes this a premeditated murder. Ooh.
Wow.
I don't know about that. So the defendant's fingerprints were found on the knife used in the stabbing.
Or maybe they just took the knife with a glove and then did it.
They just said well, I don't know. It's sort of a sticky handle on the fingerprints. Came out pretty clear, Your Honor.
I mean, what if Matt put his fingerprints on it, was using it to cut steak, and then the murderer went into Matt's room, took the knife out of his room with gloves, and then used it on the victim?
That really doesn't look like a steak knife, though, but knife is now added to the court record. And then there's this button.
Looks like a butter knife, to be honest.
That was found in the defendant's clothes, was it? And this button also is covered in blood. Yep, we know that blood on it is the victim's blood, sir. What?
Wow.
Jammin' Ninja's button, covered in grossness, added to the court record.
Oh my gosh.
All this points very clearly to the defendant now, doesn't it? Yes, it most certainly does, Your Honor.
Whatever, Edgeworth.
Ready to give in yet, right?
I don't think so.
Ha! I'll find the hole in your argument somehow. You can press as hard as you'd like. Just hurry up with your usual pointless questions.
Back to old Edgeworth and Wright.
Yeah.
The dynamic, not duo, but rivals. Oh my gosh.
Matt on guard, they were huge rivals with each other. Okay. They each thought of each other as, I don't like each other. Yeah, you're jerk faces. As for evidence, there was a Jammin' Ninja's button. Okay. It was ripped off of the ninja costume and was found in his costume, or whatever. The defendant's fingerprints were also all over the knife. Okay. Let's try this.
Okay.
How were the fingerprints arranged on the knife, Detective? What do you mean, pal? By examining the fingerprints, you can determine how the defendant held the knife. For example, did he hold it normally or overhand?
Now that you mention it, well, we didn't actually think of that.
I can't believe the bumbling of this department. Hopeless, were you paying attention to the testimony, Wright? The defendant's fingerprints were all over the knife. There is no way to determine how the knife was held at the moment of the murder.
So is the defendant the owner of this knife then?
I bet it's from the hotel.
The defendant brought the knife for the crime, which makes this a premeditated murder.
Hold it!
Hang on. There is no way this was premeditated murder, even if he bought the knife.
Sorry, pal. This isn't some pocket knife. It doesn't fold, so it's not great for walking around either.
Well, this is not good. If the prosecution can prove it was premeditated murder, we're done for.
Ooh. Phoenix.
There you go, Amber. Yes, Ghost?
There's something very interesting about what the detective just said just now. Think carefully before it's too late.
A button covered in the victim's blood and a knife with his fingerprints.
Be grateful. If the judge were more rash, he would have already pounded his gavel in closing.
We're still in a world of trouble, though.
Well, before any battle, you must find your enemy's weakness.
That is...
So let's find the weakness in this testimony, no matter how small it may be, okay, Phoenix?
Okay.
So has Mia been reading The Art of War or something?
I have no idea. Alright,
Okay.
so we know that we're something not to do with the button.
Ooh.
The defendant's fingerprints were also all over the knife.
I don't feel like we did hold it on the button.
We don't need to hold it on the button.
Okay.
The knife is that little section right there. We need to present something.
Oh,
We need to
okay.
present something about...
It says he brought the knife. I feel like that looks like a hotel knife, though. Like a butter knife. It doesn't look like an actual knife. Looks like a butter knife to me, like really fancy.
Let's try pressing him on the button. You're right.
It was ripped off the costume we found on his, we'll try this.
When was this button found?
Pretty soon after the body was found, we rounded up everyone who knew Mr. Kurita. And then we did a search of them all, and that's when we found the button. So it was almost immediately after the said murder.
The police didn't have the free time to lollygag and play tricks unlike some people. Hey!
Wow.
What is he trying to say about me here?
I do not know, Phoenix.
Defendant's fingerprints were also all over the knife.
Okay, so we talked about the knife. Let's go back and press him on the button.
Okay.
Do you have any proof that the button belonged to the victim? I believe he does.
What do you mean, pal?
Let me put it this way. You see, I'm asking you if you have any evidence to back up your claim that this button was ripped off the Jammin' Ninja's costume.
But can't you tell just by looking at it?
No.
And the victim's blood's on it.
Anyone could have smeared that blood on there afterward.
Mr. Edgeworth, help me, sir.
All right, I knew it had to be this piece of evidence. Now to reel this one in. Thread.
Huh?
The button was attached to the costume by a thread, obviously. And that thread snapped when the button was torn off. If you match up the ends of the thread on the costume with the thread on the button, it's a perfect match.
Yeah, that's it. They're perfect. Huh.
Wow. That's Edgeworth for you. Never misses a beat.
Okay. Okay, so we did that one. We did this one. We'll try this
Okay,
way.
in his way.
Yeah. All right. Wait just 1 second here. Mr. Ungard was beating Mr. Kurita in the popularity polls, right?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I guess, but...
How was he in his way then?
Which means that in the defendant's eyes, the victim was not a rival at all. Which means he had no motive to kill at all. Okay.
Yes, I quite agree with this, actually. Well, detective? It's not, well, I guess if you put it that way, then yeah, the defendant would have no motive.
Hang on a sec. Detective, I'm beginning to see why you were fired.
No, not you too, Mr. Edgeworth, that's...
If you look forward to your pension, I look forward to your pension negotiations.
No! Now, detective, let's continue with the testimony. No, not my poor pension too.
Detective, if you value your money, I suggest you proceed.
Yes, sir. We can talk about my pension later, right?
Oh, what is he saying? Hello, anyone? Alright, I guess we'll press him on the very first thing.
They each thought of each other as, we did that one. Asked for evidence, there was a Gem and Ninja button. Very beginning statement.
Or huge rivals with each other.
There we go.
We haven't done that.
But in terms of popularity, Mr. Edgeworth won, did he not?
Engard won.
Yeah, but you know what's ironic, pal? Juan Corrida was always one step behind Mr. Engard and everything. This year it seemed like he'd finally caught up, ready for the big final showdown.
But Mr. Corrida lost the Grand Prix in the end.
That's too bad, he must have been pretty downhearted after losing.
Oh, interesting.
They each thought of each other as a rival.
Okay, so we literally did everything here. There's something... Excuse me. There's something off about this final statement about the knife. So...
maybe we should try to present evidence, because Mia said there was something off about that. So, said that the defendant brought his own knife for the crime?
Uh-oh. I hope this works. Wait a second!
What?
So the basis of your argument was that this was a premeditated murder is simply that my client brought a knife beforehand.
That's right, pal. The defendant
did not buy this knife.
What?
Take a good look at the handle of this knife, and you'll see what I'm talking about.
It's what I said, it's a hotel knife.
It has a Gatewater seal set into the handle.
I knew it!
Gatewater? I think I've heard that name somewhere before.
That's the hotel name.
That's the name of the hotel, you dingus.
So he didn't buy it.
Oh, uh-oh.
Wow.
The murder knife was actually property of the hotel, which means this murder was not premeditated.
Yes, that is very true. This is a very big... What is it, Mr. Edgeworth? Why is your laugh so terrifying?
I'm sorry, but the defense is simply too careless.
Huh?
What? Mr. Wright. I think whether the crime was premeditated or not has already been determined. How so?
What?
I admit this knife is hotel property. There is no one currently on the police force that is dumb enough not to realize this.
But I didn't... Oh.
The question is... Where did this knife come from?
Why...
Dang it.
Why, it's obvious, isn't it? It came from the victim, Mr. Corrida's room.
Yeah.
Whatever.
I'm sorry, Your Honor, but that is incorrect. What?
Okay. Why?
The victim ate her last meal before he was murdered. With that being the case, I would like to draw the court's attention to what is on top of the table.
There's a knife and a fork on the table!
Oh.
Then, where in the world did this knife come from?
If it pleases the court, I would like for us to recall the room of the defendant, Mr. Engard. What about it? Oh, I see it. The knife's missing.
Oh.
Especially what was on top of his table. There is something missing. Perhaps it's a single knife?
Yeah, I think so.
Or maybe he doesn't eat with a knife. No, it's totally his knife. We investigated the leftover dishes for fingerprints, and while we were investigating, we came to the conclusion that Mr. Matt's knife was missing.
Interesting.
Mr. On Guard had gone to the victim's room with the knife he had used when he was eating his dinner. Why would he carry a knife on a visit? To kill, of course. And with that, I believe the prosecution has proven this was a premeditated murder.
Maybe he was coming over to share dinner with the other guy.
No, they were rivals.
Oh.
Amazing, Mr. Edgeworth. Absolutely brilliant. A brilliantly clear deduction.
It seems like Edgeworth had this plan from the very beginning.
This must be one of those traps, and I just walked headlong into it. Drat.
A murder weapon with fingerprints and a button from the victim's costume. This does not look good, Mr. Wright. There is quite a sizable amount of evidence here.
I can safely say that any further deliberation is, can't see, a waste of your honor's time. Although, I wouldn't mind if the defense were to present evidence not yet shown to the court. Evidence not yet shown? What?
He means evidence that the court hasn't seen yet, Phoenix. In other words, new evidence.
What does the defense have to say about this, Mr. Wright?
Well...
Phoenix, the judge is favoring the prosecution right now. If we answer with something wrong here...
That gavel of his will be ringing out to the sound of our defeat.
Yep.
Mr. Wright, do you have something important and necessary to represent to this courtroom?
Sure. I'm bluffing. There's one thing. One piece of evidence that catches my attention. Something that this court has yet to see.
Mr. Wright, you better not be pulling our chain.
What evidence do we have?
I will say this one more time. I do not feel this trial needs to continue at all.
What? It sure does.
However, I'm giving you one chance and only one.
What the judge is saying, right, is don't try pulling one of your usual bluffs here.
Wow.
If I mess this up, it's curtains for all of us. Well, mostly for,
For us.
You may now present one and only one piece of evidence.
Well, for Maya and that guy, though.
Maya's already gone. She's fine.
What?
Now then, what is
Oh
this
my
important
gosh.
evidence that must you show to the court?
You don't know if she's okay or not.
Well, the only other thing in that picture...
Is the wine glass.
I meant Mia. It didn't mean Maya.
the tomato juice glass.
Yeah, I was going to say, this was in the picture all by itself, so I'm going with... Juice!
Juice glass, which is...
This is a wine glass, is it not?
It's for tomato juice.
Please look at the photo of the crime scene one more time, Your Honor. The scene is a mess because the victim struggled against his assailant. The vase was broken, his makeup is all over the floor. Dude wearing makeup. These were all things that were on point, sitting on top of the dresser.
Stage makeup.
Well, yes, I see your point.
However, the glass that is sitting on the top of the dresser is mysteriously untouched. The only thing that had not fallen over with everything else is this wine glass.
Weird.
This piece of evidence is more than strange enough to warrant further consideration.
How so?
What? Well, what do you all have to say?
Yes, well, it's a little peculiar.
Yeah, isn't it? I thought it was.
You can stop looking at me with those puppy dog eyes of yours now, please. Mr. Edgeworth!
What is it, Your Honor?
Your opinion on this, please?
You don't need my opinion. Because there is no special meaning to that glass. What?
What?
It's safe to say that the glass was set here after the crime scene took place. By the person who discovered the body, Miss Andrews, for example. She could have easily been so shocked that she set the glass down without thinking.
Does that sound very plausible, Mr. Wright?
Could Miss Andrews really have set that glass down without thinking? No way. If I appear weak here, The trial's over. I can look for my proof later. For now, I should trust my instinct and point with certainty.
They just might fall for it, if you're thought-provoking enough, Phoenix.
All right, bluffing time. The defense would like to challenge the prosecution's theory. We would like to see something that proves it was Miss Andrews whose cup was on the table.
You've turned the situation on its head yet again, as usual. Mr. Edgeworth, do you have any proof to back up your claim?
There's no way he has any. He's just bluffing. Unlike Mr. Wright, I never have anything to say unless I have the evidence to support it. What?
Huh?
You're not thinking very hard enough today, Wright.
What?
Did you think that this wine glass escaped my notice?
Yeah.
Then... Of course it has been thoroughly inspected for fingerprints.
What?
Fingerprints? There was only one set of fingerprints left on this wine glass.
Only one? Well, whose were they?
They were not the victims nor the defendants. Rather, they were one of Miss Andrews.
Adrian Andrews.
Naughty! Wine glass updated in the court record.
Her name sounds like a guy's name.
That is why I said that the person who had discovered the body had left it there. And we're done here, Mr. Wright.
Maybe she left her glass there when she was coming over to see him and she didn't actually murder him.
I can't believe I fell into another trap. Miss Andrews was probably holding the glass when she went to see Mr. Kurita.
That's what I just said!
But upon seeing his dead body, she was stunned and set the glass down on the dresser.
What you just said makes a lot of sense.
Oh, that's right. We're supposed to be implicating the other guy, though.
Now do you see, right? You can't change any part of my scenario as it explains everything all too well. I've thought long and hard this past year about what it means to be a prosecutor. And from here on out, I will show you the answer I've come to discover.
Whoa.
Wait a second, Mr. Edgeworth. I think the prosecution has proved enough evidence for me to warrant my verdict.
What? Are you kidding me?
Unfortunately, I cannot allow you to pass judgment yet, Your Honor. The prosecution has yet another witness we would like the court to hear from. Another witness?
What?
Yes. Bailiff, please bring in the next witness.
What in the world is Mr. Edgeworth thinking?
He's having fun.
He's so cocky.
Oh no! Now then, witness, please state your name and occupation. Witness, your name and occupation.
Gotcha!
Oh no. I wonder what happened to that calm composure he had earlier.
What? Oh, Edgy boy, it's been a year since we last met, hasn't it? You should be more happy to see me.
I saw the report with your testimony, but who knew that under that helmet, it was that wicked witch of the witness stand?
I'll tell you, this time I know what I'm supposed to do. So today, I'm gonna tell you anything and everything. Even things that don't even have to do with that terrible crime.
Miss Witness, the terrible crime is all this court needs to know, please.
Shush! I'm talking about dear Edgy Wedgie right now.
Barf.
Don't interrupt us, Gramps!
Yes, madam, but we're relatively the same age.
No, please, by all means, interrupt her, please. Anyway, witness, your testimony, please.
It's true what they say, that youth are hot-headed nowadays. Not that I mind at all, edgy. Now then, what should I start with?
The witness was on security detail at the hotel of the night of the murder. Is this correct, Miss Oldbag?
It was a great job, being able to see my dear wand. It was almost too much for my little heart to handle.
You mean you were a fan of the victim as well?
Look, everyone is crazy over that on guard, saying he's cute in a fresh way or something. But not me. I wouldn't say anything so silly. After all, I have no interest in a little child like him. I'm only interested in a real man, Juan Corrida.
But those two were the same age.
Anyway, as I was saying, I was pacing in front of his room that night.
Very well. Please tell the court what you witnessed the night of the murder.
Maybe she did it.
Yeah.
Leave it to me, Angie Pooh.
Please no. What you witnessed.
Anyway, after the ceremony, I went to pace around in the hallway in front of his room. There was something I was interested in finding out, you know. Well, since I was on the job, I made sure to keep a good eye out the whole time. That's when someone showed up. It was a man coming out of Pooh Juan's room. It was on guard! Man on guard! He was trying to sneak his way out of Juan's room! Ah! Wait, she really saw him?
So Mr. On Guard came out from the victim's room?
See? It has to be him! He's the murderer!
I see. Well then, Mr. Wright, you may begin your cross-examination.
Oh, no, I'm not. Not today.
What?
Nope. Please let me pause. Let me pause. Thank God. All right, so anyway, guys, that is going to do it for today's episode. Join us next time as Wendy Oldbag takes the stand yet again.
Wow.
And does her old bagginess. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and tell us what you think about this episode so far. And we'll see you at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time with more Ace Attorney. Come back later today at 6 p.m. for Sword Art Online. God bless and happy gaming.
See